Hey yo, what is up, everybody? Coach Chad here, CEO of the Next Level Coaching Academy, creator of the Assistant Coach Academy, and creator of the Fit CEO podcast by Chad Molyneux. Hopefully, you guys are doing freaking fantastic. I know I am. This is it's Wednesday, so 3 days out from NLCA Live. I can't believe we're already 3 days past. Not 3 days out, but 3 days past NLCA Live. What a freaking amazing weekend. Honestly, this whole entire podcast is going to be about it, so I'm sure we're going to break it down. But before I break it down, what I'm going to be breaking down, by the way, is my five biggest takeaways from the event. But before we do so, I want to give some thank yous, because the event wouldn't be possible without the amazing people that helped me put it together. So first off, if you attended NLCA Live, major thank you. Like, holy crap, you flew out to Austin, Texas. Like, most of the people that came were not from Austin, Texas, which means most of the people flew into our wonderful city here to enjoy the event. So the fact that you purchase plane tickets, you purchase a hotel room, and you purchase the NLCA Live tickets to come and attend our event means a lot. And we had a lot of really amazing feedback. So appreciate you guys that decided to show up and come out to NLCA Live. Big thank you to Hotel Van Zant for hosting us. What an amazing event experience. Like, the event space was awesome. There was no technical issues. The tech crew was great. The food was amazing. We had an open bar. The open bar was great. And just the hotel as a whole. They made it very easy on me. The event coordinator made it very easy on me and the NLCA staff. So for that, I'm very grateful. Major thank you to our DJ. DJ Undead Thread is his Instagram. So undead_thread is his Instagram. He absolutely crushed it. Threw down some really awesome beats for the after party, and it was just a really great experience with him. MC Sean McDevitt. Wow, Sean can freaking speak. He did a great job emceeing the event. All of our speakers crushed it. Big shout out to my girlfriend Caitlin for putting up with me over the past 5 months as I set up the event. Big shout out to my business partner Dayla for having a helping hand in creating this event. Big shout out to my staff. My staff is the best freaking staff in the game. And big shout out to Austin, our videographer, who did the virtual experience and filmed the whole entire thing as well. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anybody. But honestly, everybody involved, just major thank you. This event, for our first one, God, it went really smooth. It went really smooth. We had a lot of people who came up to us and were like, "Are you sure this was your first event? This was the first event that y'all did?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is the first event." And they're like, "Man, I've been to people's events who've been doing events for 10 years. And I got to say, like, this is some of the best that I've seen." And it was a really crazy feeling. I can remember coming back Sunday night after the event, and me and Caitlin had like a 10-minute cry sesh just because it's just so freaking awesome. And it was really surreal. But anyways, I got 5 takeaways for you guys from the NLCA Live experience. All right. So these are my 5 learning lessons. My aim and goal of making this podcast is hopefully y'all can pick up some of these learning lessons and apply them in your life and your business as well. So let's dive into it. All right. Number 1, and if you see me looking down, I made a post on this in our private Facebook group. So just using that as reference if you're watching on YouTube. So number 1, and I'm just going to read this word for word and then I'll expand on it. Meeting clients in person is better than any written or video testimonial. The belief you get in yourself and your program is unmatched. The ROI from the motivation my team and I got alone is going to be worth it. Moving forward, I will strategically plan events like this just to boost motivation. So I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm actually pretty introverted. Like I prefer to be introverted, but I can also be extremely extroverted. Like I could be an extrovert, but it's something I have to consciously choose to do. My natural inclination is to be pretty introverted. So first off, doing an event like this was really stepping out of my comfort zone. Like I said, I get uncomfortable meeting new people. It's not a skill that I'm really good at. So creating this event, like I said, was something that I didn't think I had to do. And I held off for a while. This was the first time that I met any of my staff members. Think about that. This is the first time that I've met any of my staff members. And I used to have a belief that I could grow an online business without an in-person component. That belief is now broken. And this is why, all right? So point number one, like I mentioned before, talking to clients and talking to my staff is better than any virtual meeting, is better than any written testimonial or video testimonial that I've gotten from clients. The amount of inspiration and motivation that I have post-event, the amount of inspiration and motivation my team has post-event is like nothing I've never seen. And that alone is worth what we paid for the event. That alone is going to provide enough of an ROI to make me want to do this again. And like I said, now I will strategically plan, whether it's staff meetups or client meetups throughout the year, just to get that motivation boost, just to get that inspiration boost, and just to create and continue to create the culture and brand that is NLCA. So this is not something that I've said before, but I recommend when you have the budget to do so. And man, you could do meetups for free. You don't even have to spend money to do a meetup. But I recommend considering adding an in-person component to your business, whether it's a free meetup or whatever, just for the motivation and for the inspiration alone, because there's nothing like meeting clients and staff members in person. And that's coming from an individual who used to think that he could build an online business without an in-person component. And that belief has now officially been broken. And like I said, strategically, I'll be planning these throughout the year just for the motivation pop. I mean, there's many of reasons why I'm going to plan these strategically throughout the year, but that alone, the motivation pop, the inspiration pop that I get and my team gets is well worth its weight in gold. It's well worth what we paid to have this event. All right, so that's number one. Here's number two. This one's more business practical. So big events, and I'm reading this word for word again, big events like this aren't about turning a profit on ticket sales. They're about turning a profit on client retention, staff retention, the digital assets you get from filming, and the social media exposure. So originally, 5 months ago, in April, when I started preparing for NLCA Live, I was very concerned with profiting from ticket sales. And now that the event has, gone and passed, I'm no longer worried about turning a profit on ticket sales. And to be honest, we lost about 50% of what we paid in terms of ticket sales alone. So we paid X amount. We probably made half of what we paid in ticket sales. So we lost money. Okay, we lost money on ticket sales, but we're not going to lose money over the long haul. So how you can profit from events like this is not from ticket sales, but from client retention, right? Because the clients that attend are now going to be so bought into the mission, so bought into the community, that the likelihood of them staying clients for longer probably tripled, right? Secondly, your staff is now more bought into the mission and vision than ever. They just attended your live event. They just got integrated with your clients. They just saw the impact that they're making, and they're like, holy shit, I want to be a part of this for a long time. Not only that, but they're going to be more motivated and inspired to help more people because of what they saw happen what they saw transcribed at the event. All right, so that's number two. Your staff, if you have staff, is going to be that much more motivated to be a part of your vision for the long term and work for you harder than they ever have before. So that will create an ROI, right? The digital assets you get from filming the event. So you can have photographers come, you can have videographers come, and the amount of digital assets that we'll be able to have, just to give you a couple of strategies that we're going to do, we're going to have every single individual speakers talk. So we're going to do free resources, which essentially is, hey, do you want to see so-and-so's talk? Great. DM us the word blank and we'll send it to you, right? This creates conversations. We can use those conversations to hopefully book a call and also provide free value. On top of that, we can run ads with all of the digital assets that we have, right? We have the whole entire event recorded. You know how many ads we can make out of that? A lot of ads, right? So, and then social media posts, you know, the whole 9 yards. But the digital assets that you get from having an event like this, the ROI as a result of producing that is going to be crazy. And then the last one, and the one that I was probably most shocked about, but is also the most obvious, is the social media exposure. We got tons, like myself included, I got tons of new followers this past weekend, not just from interacting with people person to person, but the amount of people that record on their story the event, that tag the company, that tag you, is insane, right? And think about this. If each person in that room had 1,000 followers, and I think we had damn near 100 people in the room, that means if they post, now in the room, we have 100 people, but if they're posting on social media, technically, if each of them had 1,000 followers, now we have 100,000 people in the room, right? Because now they're exposing us to all 1,000 of their followers. And if there's 100 people doing that in the room, that's 100,000 people that now just saw our stuff. Pretty crazy, right? Let me make sure I'm doing that math right. 1,000 times 100. Yep, 100,000. Okay. Don't make fun of me. All right. I had to double check. But yeah, think about that. If you were able to expose your brand to 100,000 people, do you think you would turn a profit? The answer is absolutely yes. All right. So my point number 2 is, like I said, is more of a business strategic one, is I've changed my belief on ticket sales. Ticket sales is great, right? Awesome, cool. I can make half back what I spent, but I'm going to make majority of my money from what happens after the event, and if I'm smart with my marketing and sales after the event. All right. Number 3. All right, this is a big one. My number 3 takeaway is that preparation and high standards always win. All right, so I'm going to read this one word for word, and then I'll give my little 2 cents. So preparation and high standards always win. We started preparing for this event back in April, and the event was in August. One of the main reasons that we didn't have any hiccups is we prepared, and we prepared early. In addition to that, we went very over the top and rose the standards. We had a DJ, open bar, full food service, and an amazing venue. If you want to win in business, have high standards and prepare. All right, so like I mentioned before, I'll talk about the preparation first. So we started preparing in April for an event that was in August. So 5-month preparation. To be honest, we probably needed 2 or 3. So we were about half. We did about half. Double the work in order to run this event. And to be honest, I'm always going to prepare about 5 months out now, because what happens is when you're 30 days out from the event and you basically have everything done and you just need to cross a couple of T's and dot a couple I's, you're good to go. And then that is going to set up an amazing experience, which comes across as having extremely high standards. And when your clients see that you have high standards, then they're going to think, yeah, this person's going to have an amazing program. This person's going to ensure that we get results because they have extremely high standards. And what that does for your brand, like I said, is worth the weight in gold. The ROI that you get from being viewed from the public as somebody who's prepared and somebody who has high standards, that's a stamp on your brand that you have a prestigious brand. So I would totally spend the money that we spent again to get that stamp on our brand on what we stand for, right? So remember that if you're going to host an event, if you have a program, right, all the things that you do conveys what your brand is about to your students, right? And maybe you don't want to host events, and that's totally fine. But think about your program and think about the brand that is associated with your program, right? What do people think when they go through your program? Do they think you're disorganized or do they think you're prepared? Do they think you over deliver? Do they think you just, do the bare minimum, right? These are questions that you should be asking yourself when you're creating your program. Another one is your social media. What does your social media convey? Does it convey high standards, or does it convey that that your life is a mess, right? Like, these are things that you should be thinking about. And at least a takeaway that I got once again from the event is that high standards and preparation are always, always, always going to win. And those things will be a reflection of your brand. All right. So moving on to number 4. And this is one that I've struggled with over the many years that I've been in business, but one that always continues to come back over and over and over again as something that's extremely important. All right. So I'll read you number 4. To succeed in business, you really do need people. You can't reach high levels of success without having an amazing team, community, and relationships to support you. So, mini story here. I mean, obviously, a lot of you guys listening to this know my story. But when I first started out, I was extremely stubborn, and I thought I could do it all on my own. And I lived that way for probably about 2.5, 3 years. And at the end of that 2.5, 3 years, I had debt collectors coming after me. I had no business, and I was pretty anxious, stressed, and miserable, right? And then I started investing in business coaching. I moved down to Austin, and that's when my business flourished. And I really started to recognize and have an epiphany that people need people in order to succeed. So if you're one of those individuals that thinks you could do it on your own, I promise you cannot reach the level of success that you want to reach without help, all right? So that was another big takeaway from the weekend, is that this event wouldn't be possible without all the people that I listed off in the beginning. And if you want to have high levels of success, you have to be open and willing to accepting people into your mission. And I know that's a hard thing to do, because us entrepreneurs, we want to control everything. That's why we get into entrepreneurship, because we want to control our lives. We want to control how they operate. We want to control how we make our money. And it's very hard to let people in, because there's a trust factor there, right? I don't want this person to ruin what I have created, right? But I promise you, you're going to be okay. There is going to be some people that come into your mission that you don't want in your mission, and you'll learn that, and great. Once again, you have the power to choose to get them out of your mission. But you have to allow people into your mission, and you have to grow together if you want to reach really high levels of success. So that's point number 4. All right, point number 5. All right, let's read this one. So this one, I'm going to be a little transparent. I'm going to give you guys the amount of money that I spent for this event, but I'm doing it in a way where hopefully it provides value. So number 5, it's better to pay more than it is to pay less. The venue and event was not cheap. It was damn near $50,000 at the end of the day. I entertained venues 1/5 of that cost, and I'm very happy I paid more. The wow factor that this event created, because I paid more for our brand, made our brand look that much more legit. Okay, so that is a real figure. The event cost expense-wise about $50,000. Being fully transparent, when I got that bill and I paid, and I was like, this was probably a bad decision. I probably should have went to a cheaper hotel. And I got quotes from other hotels, and I could have paid $10,000, which is 1/5 of what I paid, and had a mediocre or okay event. But it comes back to point number 3 about having high standards. And like I said, going into the event, I questioned my decision to spend this much money. Coming out of the event, I would spend it again, and I would spend it again. And I'm going to spend it again, because now that we've set the bar high, heck, I'm probably going to have to spend more now, right? Because we set the bar high, it can only go up from here. But the point I'm trying to make is, whenever you're presented with a decision in your company, and within reason, obviously don't spend things that are well above your budget if you don't actually have the money. But I was presented with a choice to pay for something prestigious and create a great experience for other people and really make a mark on our brand, or I could have chose to go the easier route. spend 1/5 of the cost. Create a mediocre event that people are going to enjoy, but not create an A++ event that everybody's going to be talking about. So like I said, coming out of that experience, I'm going to make this decision every single time. And I encourage y'all to do the same, obviously within reason. If you have an opportunity to make a decision about your company where other people are going to make decisions on your decision, always pay more than pay less, obviously, once again, within reason. So that's it. Those are the 5 biggest takeaways that I had from NLCA Live. It was fantastic. Like I said, not to brag a little bit more, but we had a lot of people come up and compliment the job that we did. So I'm super excited. The vision for NLCA Live is we'll have one really big one every single year, and then we'll have a couple of smaller mastermind ones that are focused around specific topics sprinkled throughout the year. That's our vision for it. We already have pre-sale tickets for NLCA Live 2022. We plan on that being between the months of April, May, potentially June. I'm waiting to hear back from the event venue. We're going to do it in the same venue. Yeah, we're going to do it in the same venue. We're going to do it probably one more year there if we can find a better venue, which I'm sure there is one, but this venue is really nice. We're going to do it again, once again, like I said, in April, May, or June, one of those months, waiting to hear back on dates that they have within that same venue in Austin, Texas. But we're having a ticket pre-sale. So if you already know that you're going to want to come, and spring is a good time for you, there's going to be a link to purchase those tickets just down below. Now, the pre-sale price is only going to be available for the next 30 days. So what that pre-sale price is it's $297 if you are a non-NLCA student. If you're an NLCA student, it's $197. There is a discount code for NLCA students. I put that discount code in our massive Facebook group. So go check there. If you don't have it, you can email our support email as well, NLCA students. Now, after the 30 days, the prices are going to go up. So this is a 30-day ticket pre-sale. If you already know, slam dunk, I'm coming in 2022. Spring is a good time for me, April, May, or June. More likely April or May, to make sure that you take advantage of the ticket pre-sale. Link is going to be in the show notes. Inside of that link as well as we're also giving away the recording of the 2021 NLCA Live. It's $47 if you want the recording. You'll get all of the speakers that we had, and you'll get that in a nice video format for you to refer back to, and you get to keep it and you can watch it as many times as you want. So that will also be in the same website link in the show notes. But anyways, guys, super appreciate you listening. Once again, thank you for everybody that made NLCA Live possible, and I'll talk to you guys in the next podcast. Peace.